Hope you're all doing great. Stock Option Sniper here. If you traded today on a Friday, same day expiration, I hope you did a very well risk management and you got out profitable on your trade or your swing trading or got the best entry, right? But I just first and foremost as well, I want to thank each and every one of you that are subscribed to my channel, continuously showing me support and so much love. And those who are you that are purchasing my merch, there's a couple of you, about 32 now. There's about 27, third day open. Please send me the receipt on your Instagram. I got a surprise for you. Just the Instagram is on my link in my description. Just check that out. As you guys can see, we have here 3 different type of design. We got the stock option sniper on our YouTube. You guys love that so much, but you guys love the scope even more. The scope polo. I ordered one myself of the scope polo. It was a polo one for gentlemen. Right, we got the stock option sniper with this logo, the scope, and the candlestick. If you're in New York, it's getting kind of cold. Get your hoodies right here. But we have this on the polo, so you guys love that a lot. But today, let's exit this out. Today, let's go over a very important topic, right? Trading retail and using indicators, okay? I used to trade retails, and this is my favorite indicator, right? So everything changed after I started trading smart money. And let me show you guys what I mean, okay? So today, I caught a very beautiful setup with NVIDIA and my community. Right, I gave them NVIDIA puts. Some of them got scared because they said, okay, it's going up. But as you guys can see, as you guys know already, if you've been to the channel, I have a very strict setup that I follow. And I give it to my community members as well. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I have my community link. I have my community link on the description. Look over that. It's called Patreon. Go check that out. Also, if you look at my channel from the previous and the past, you see everything when I started trading smart money, right? Smart money means understanding where price action goes and why the market moves the way it moves, right? So I never depend on indicator like I used to, right? So if you look at here, in this just by example, I had NVIDIA literally targeting this 115. Well, first I was targeting 123. Let me show you guys why. Right, so I go to my 2 hours. Some of you guys already know if you're in my community. If you're in my community or you're one of my students, you know exactly why I love the 2 hours, right? I find that structure. Once I find the structure, I go to my 5 minute, right? Once I go to my 5 minute, I find that setup. I have my S&D zones. Once I find that UTAD, meaning liquidating all structure, right? Once I saw this line right here, once I saw this line right here get liquidated, I already told myself we're gonna go down. 2 confirmation that I had, it was in my zone. We're in a super downtrend, and everything here got liquidated. So I told myself, okay, good. We're going down. I'm just gonna confirm it via Wyckoff. Found my UTAD at that liquidation of all these highs, right? Once I got that, put my stop loss clearly right above it, which is this red box, right here, right there. And I just created my zone, and I'm targeting 123. Why was it 123? If you don't understand structure, go watch my video. It's there for you. It's free. And now I'm targeting 115. Right, I'm about to hit 120, but we're targeting 115.32. We just have one contract, but you know we're almost 100% on that play, so it's just beautiful, just letting it run over the weekend. And hey, if the price goes back, you guys know I'm huge on letting my plays run. But if it goes back to break even, hey, kudos to the market. But this is how I get my huge RR on my plays and why I let my plays run, right? So going back to retail trading and understanding indicators, you guys can see I was taught, right? This is what I was when I was trading. This is what some of my mentors taught me. Oh, RSI, when it's 30, it bounces. Does it bounce? It does bounce, right? We call that oversold, overbought. And I'm not saying this can't be profitable, because I was profitable using the strategy. But today, if I was still using this strategy and don't understand my strategy that I use now, I would have probably lost a lot of money, right? Oh, once it hit 30, it's going to go to 70. It can do that. It did it right here, right? Multiple times. Oh, if it's 70, it drops, right? It does that. But today, everything was trading from 50 to 30, right? So if I got into the market, I would have lost, right? Who the heck would take puts knowing that this is already at 30? If anything, those who use an RSI indicator like me, I don't know how you guys use it, but before I used to tell myself I'd go to my 15 minute. Once this is 30, literally, I love the 15 minute. Anybody who knows me from before, that I trade with from before, they love I love the 15 minutes. Why? Because I don't know. It just gives me my clean setup. not understanding why I use that time frame. It just said 15 minutes higher time frame, so I'm using 15, right? So everything was trading at 30, 27. Like, this thing has been trading all down. So what I'm trying to say is, if I depended solely on my indicator, I would have lost money today. Right? Why? Because every time, oh, look at this. I'm 23. I'm taking calls now because I'm looking for a bounce. Did it bounce? It did. And I probably held the play. And look, I lost money again. Oh, it's 30. I'm taking calls. Go down. Oh, I'm taking calls. Right? And I'm not trying to be biased here with, like, oh, he's seen it already. Right? Because you can't make money. You can definitely make money. Like, if it was up here, you know that it was gonna go down, right? But I want to show you guys a strategy that works even best, right? I trade with no indicators, to be honest with you. This was just here to show you guys what I'm talking about. You guys probably have some MA crossovers, all that good stuff, which I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying anyone who trades with these things are not profitable, but there will be days that this will trick you. And today was one of those days. Today was one of those days that if you were trading on RSI and you were waiting for those 30 setup and you're going to get it from 30 to 70 like I used to, you would have got spanked today. Right? So this is what that video is solely about. I don't want you guys to depend on that indicator. And I'm going to keep telling you guys over and over. We use a very simple strategy, man. I took BA2, look at that, just in my zone. But, I just solely don't depend on my indicators like that anymore. Let's go find, by the way, let's look at Exxon. Exxon is beautiful. Exxon is taking a dip right now, right? We caught that Exxon back when it was at 83. I'm still holding plays on Exxon. I'm up almost 100, 170% just on this play alone, right? Caught that spring, sign of strength, reaccumulation to mark up, and it was just going up and up and up. And right now, Exxon look like it's about to keep ripping. How do I know? Now, financial advice, right? You go to the rules of your 30, and this looks like right here is a demand zone for Exxon. But anyway, I don't want to get to the Exxon. I want to show you guys an example of the strategy that I use to find my plays and not depend solely on my indicators. If you want to use indicators, cool. If you don't use indicators and you want to be open-minded to this setup, why not, right? So check this out. I went to my 2 hours, found my structure, right? We make our structure a blue box, okay? We find the SND zone. SND means that last down move or that last up move, right? So in that scenario in the video, we had a down move, right? We're waiting for that for price to come up. So what happened? Price did come up to that zone. Once it came up to that zone, we confirmed it from the form of Wyckoff, transferred to weak hands or strong hands, and we took that lower and lower and lower, targeting the low of this structure. Right? Once we target that low of that structure, we enter that play. The moment it touches that green box, we touch that. We have now an area to find confirmation to take the play. Once you find that UTAD, if you don't know what a UTAD or this Wyckoff distribution, it's right there on my channel, right? I go over that. I'm huge on those strategies, right? I put my stop loss just 15 cents above the UTAD. If you have a little high tolerance, you can put at least 2-3%, but I don't recommend you guys going more than 5%, right? 3% is max that you can lose. If you did everything right, two things can happen. One, if you did everything correct, one, you either break even, and two, your play keeps running and running and running, right? Like me, I have a NVIDIA play. I'm holding until next week. I'm targeting 115 on NVIDIA, right? So as long as my stop loss doesn't get me stopped out, I'm gonna keep holding that trade, and that's when I make this business, because this is a business, right? This is a business. That's when I make this business a passive income business where I'm not consumed to the market where I have to be here all day on the screen, right? So as you guys can see right here, I have my strategy. So what I do is I set my alerts, create an alert. I don't want to set it here, but I'm going to create an alert the moment it touches that line, right? The moment it touches that zone, because that's all that matters. The moment it touches that zone, or from the bottom of that structure, right? So you have two alerts. One, the moment it touches that zone to confirm that weak hand to strong hand transfer, and the bottom of that zone, meaning breaking structure to go down lower and lower, right? So once you find those zones, if you don't know what I'm talking about, right? Because like, what is he talking about? Zones? What are you talking about? Alerts? Just go to my structure videos, go to my Wyckoff videos, just watch it. I'm gonna tell you guys as well that this video is not random. It's not like I open here as a random. It's a step by step. In order for you to understand this, you must watch the previous video. If you go straight to this video, you will be bombarded with information. You'll be like, what is he talking about? Why does he have three different boxes there? What is he talking about Wyckoff? I never even heard that, right? This is a step-by-step video. In order for you to understand this, you must watch the previous video, right? So that's how we found that setup. And it's the same thing if you want to go long on a stock, right? You find that structure. Once you find that structure, this is supposed to be blue. Why is it blue? That's just to keep things simple for me and my students when I'm teaching them, right? When you find the SND zone, I was so programmed that demand zone has to be blue, right? But you already know that if your zone is down here, you already know you're going long, right? So don't confuse the colors. Okay, so once you get that, boom, you take that up higher, right? Once you get that, you target the low of the structure to the high of the structure. Hang on, we forgot the confirmation. So we get that confirmation touching that zone. So now we have a play to enter, right? We make it green. Green is the confirmation, like it's ready to go. And then after that, we take the price higher and higher and higher, right? Get that mark up, boom, higher and higher. Okay, very simple strategy. Anybody can do it. I have literally students that are trading for less than a month, and they're literally killing it with the same exact strategy. Killing it. Kid you not. If you don't believe me, it's okay. But if you go to my Patreon, just sign up for a day and cancel the same day. Go watch it. Insane, right? There's a gentleman there. I'm not gonna mention his name. He's literally been trading for just almost about 3 weeks. Literally 100% his portfolio, right? Using the same exact strategy that I've been giving out for free. Well, he's in my mentorship, but just watching this free stuff, right? The only difference, you don't need my mentorship, but the only difference is that I go deep into details, into what's going on, right? Like it takes us about 2 to 3 hours sometimes. My students like, wow, they just love it because this is what they do for a living. So why not be the best at it? If that makes sense, right? So you get that confirmation. Like if we found here on Exxon, a lot of individuals trying to short Exxon, but I was not getting faked out, right? A lot of individuals trying to short Exxon. Why? Because Exxon, when he hit this area right here, I'm gonna take this out. This zone right there on my weekly, that rejection, I made that itself is a form of a zone. So they shorted, they got that cookie effect meaning that they chose a direction, they chose a play, and they went to their direction just temporarily, right? And once I caught that spring, I knew that it was over. I didn't literally catch it at 83, but I was like, I know this is gonna keep going higher and higher. But Exxon was beautiful, you guys. Charted on the daily. I charted that in the 4 hour, and I literally played it at the 10 minutes, and it just kept higher and higher. Just beautiful, right? Look at that, just liquidating everything. While individuals trying to short, they're just getting spanked trying to short Exxon because they think it's quote unquote overextended, just like what it's doing here. Every time we hit that zone, oh, we're going low, puts, go up. Oh, we're going puts, we're right on pre-market, go up, right? Getting spanked every single day. Who's playing Exxon and shorting this, right? Look at that, you guys. For the previous, 30 minutes? I don't know this. For the previous days, you've been trying to say, oh my gosh, my Exxon is at 70. I'm going to short this. I'm at 30 minutes. What's going on? It's been trading here for the past, I don't know how many days this is, in 30 minutes. For the past, I would say at least 3-4 days. It's been trading up here. Come back to the 50, trade up here again. Guys, you see that? That's why I don't solely just depend on my indicators anymore. Once I find my zones, once I create my strategy, right? My structure, my strategy, form a Wyckoff. Once I get that confirmation and I find my trend, how do you find the trend? Go check out my Golden Goose method and check that out, and you'll understand how to find the trend. And you're just going with the trend every time. The trend is your friend. Those who goes against the trend all the time gets a difficult time going with the market. Let me show you guys what I mean. Who goes against the trend? Okay, I'm pretty much, my channel is for more advanced traders. It's not beginner traders. I had somebody ask me like what contract to buy, but I told them, that's all. It's not for that. It's more for advanced trading my channel. But it's okay. There's a to that individual. There's a lot more. There's a lot more videos here. There's a lot more video that definitely goes into that, and but I want to show you guys the strategy. It's very, very important. I don't want to miss it to my advanced traders. Right. So as you can see right here, we have that uptrend, right? Cool. That's how the stock moves, right? Not perfect, but that's how it's creating higher highs, higher lows. Okay. So up. So what do? Over time, we have so-called demand zones. Okay. We have demand zones. So we make that blue. Cool. We make it blue. Okay. Make it blue. We make it blue. Cool. We have our demand zones. Okay. So when I say going against the trend, now we have that up move, right? Up move. This is our UTAD right here. Okay. We had that buying climax. We have that test, and then we have that up move. Okay. Now this could be actually the buying. This is the PSY. Excuse me. This is the PSY. This is the UT, and this is the UTAD. Right. This is the UTAD liquidating all that structures. Right. People that try to short this was happy for a moment. That cookie effect got liquidated. Those who try to take calls, they're about to get liquidated right here. So individuals that try to take calls on this scenario was good. Now they're gonna keep taking calls. Why are they gonna take calls? The moment this zone bounces here, what are they gonna say? Oh, we're in a super uptrend. We're in a super uptrend. They take calls. The cookie effect. Boom. Never shrug their structure. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out my video on false structure. Right? Fake structure. Never holds. Once it never holds, they're like, what the fuck? All right, I got the wrong zone. This gotta be this zone right here. Right? It bounced off last time from this zone. Break that again. Right? Oh no, it gotta be this last zone. All right, this gotta be the last one. We've been dying. What happened? Boom, breaks again all the way back to that structure. Right? You guys need to understand that the moment the stock breaks structure, this structure, that's not what I wanted. Where's my horizontal polyline, right? This structure from that protective high to this protective low. All right, guys, I don't know why I keep doing that. Just bear with me. Right? Protective high, protective low. You guys know what I mean. Okay, from up here to down there. The moment this broke that, the moment broke down below that, we had to change the structure, change the trend, right? And the stock goes up and breaks right through it. And then once we start to break this structure, let me show you guys what I mean. If I can move this just a little bit. Okay, perfect. Now, once we break this structure, when we break this structure, this is where it gets fun. Why? Because the retail traders are individuals that do not understand how to trade. This is where they lose everything. Right? And in those who understand the trend of the market, this is how most Discord are made. This is how most gurus are created. This is how most of their business are mostly popping, right? I'll say popping because it's the most busiest. Why? Because like, oh my God, he called puts all month. I've been making money off this group. I'm gonna stay this month. But the moment they don't understand the structure change, that break, right? The moment it breaks structure and the stock or the price starts trading above structure and don't see that, they're gonna keep liquidating all these highs to go higher and higher, right? And they're like, damn, that's when people start to leave. Why? Because if you understand, I tell you guys this, my students listening, the composite man who controls the market thinks the opposite of the retail traders, right? They think the opposite. Composite man, the one who controls the market, right? They think the opposite. So instead of if you think this is a demand zone, this is for them to buy more puts, right? This is for them to buy more position because once it goes up, load up on positions on puts, boom, right? Instead of this being supply zone to them, demand zone to them, it becomes supply zone. Why? Because they have to understand that this right here are liquidity, right? Liquidity means where is the most orders lying in the market. Okay, so in this scenario, this is what happens, right? This is what happens. Let me draw my zone real quick for us. So Okay, it's not letting me properly. All right. So now we have individuals saying, okay, this is my supply zone, this is my supply zone, this is my supply zone, right? And this just keeps going on and on. Supply zone, demand zone, demand zone. Okay, we broke structure, supply zone, supply zone, supply zone. Now they start to short the market, right? They short the market. Individuals that are just taking plays. This is why I stress it so much. Please, please, please stop trying to just make money based on people's play. Please, you have to learn this. You want to make great money on this? You want to learn how to be profitable in this game? You have to find a strategy. I don't care if it's a 200 MA breakout, right? 200 MA, I don't care. Find a strategy you can manage and you can refine every single day. But please stop taking trades just from people alone, right? So once you find that zone, now they're like, it's a supply zone, it's a supply zone. We're going down. Remember, think the opposite of the composite man. Once we do that, it goes up higher. Zone never holds. You guys see what I did there? This literally happens over and over and over and over every time in the market. Just backtest if you don't believe me, right? Oh, it's a supply zone. It got to go down. Give them that little cookie effect. Next thing you know, runs up. Oh, it's going down. Okay, this got to be the supply zone. Run up. Next thing you know, the moment they get to the top of that liquidity, it goes up. All right, we're shorting it. Boom. Give them a UTAL Wyckoff. Don't even have a fucking clue what happened. They'd be like, wow, what the hell just happened? Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense. This was supposed to be a demand zone. I knew it. Right? Now they start playing with their emotion, everything, all the strategies that they all had confused them. Is like, that makes sense. I knew it was a demand zone. Right? Oh, my RSI was a 70 on my weekly. Right? Now that makes sense. It was a 30. Start confusing themselves. We're not understanding how price action works. They were just depending on the algorithm. And like I said, I'm not here to be a hypocrite. I used to trade like that. But I'm qualified to talk this way because I used to do this. And now I'm sharing to you guys, I'm sharing with you guys my perspective on why I was never a profitable trader. Right before. Now we're doing amazing superhero status now. Right? Guys, please take this with a grain of salt if you are trading. You can, any strategy you have, they work. You can freaking take a coin and flip it and be like, and ask yourself, ask the coin, heads or tails, puts, heads, calls. But the best thing that will make that strategy work is you having a risk management behind it. That's what will make it work. Right? Guys, I want to leave you all with that. Thank you all so much if you're listening to this far. And those who are you subscribe, supporting me on my channel. Once again, thank you all so much. I do this for us. And I'll see you guys when I'm here. Peace.